Hello and welcome to another edition of 21 Minutes with KKB. My name is Kobna Chenchahinebwati. Now today my guest on the show is a gentleman who used to run the communications unit at the presidency. He used to work for a gentleman many referred to at the time as Junior Jesus. He was a special aide to a former president of Ghana. Today, they may not be on such good terms as they used to be some time back. I'm sure you may have heard of quite a number of things as to what really the reason is. But today, we do have that same gentleman here to really explain to us the real story behind that story. I'll return in a bit to introduce my guest for the day. Stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us. And my guest for today, like I mentioned to you, is a Director of Public Affairs at the former President's office, where he held that position for a while until, he had to find his way out somewhere. He's held a lot of public offices. He's been Ghana's High Commissioner to the UK and Ireland, Czech Republic, and a few other places. Indeed, he's a man many have been seeking. And today he's our guest on the show. Ambassador Victor Smith is my guest. Ambassador Smith, many thanks for agreeing to be with us today. And it's been a while since we saw you or heard of you.
Well, thanks very much. Nice for having me today. I believe you want to talk a little bit about the politics of the day.
Indeed. But
I'm happy to be here.
Great. We can't start without necessarily touching on that subject matter that virtually everybody talks about anytime he or she sees you, about you and your relationship with your former, should I call him your former boss? Is your former boss?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Do you talk to him anymore?
I would say that no, we are not, as we used to be.
As in you and former President Jerry John Rawlings?
Correct.
The Junior Jesus?
I don't know about Junior Jesus.
Why?
I was sent out of his office, if you remember, with a text message then. It was the joke of the day, But I've moved on since. I've lived my life up to this moment, and I still think I have a lot to contribute to this nation. It was like we were not in tune with each other. I was not on the same frequency with them. Certain things that were done or were being done was not, for me, in my mind, the right things to do.
Give me an example.
Well, at the time, it was to do with the party internal issues.
Okay. So they were meddling in the party affairs. You didn't think that?
Well, they were meddling with the leadership, as to, before we got Professor Mills into the driving seat and the running mate issue. And
so they wanted to decide.
I had my views.
They wanted to decide who was to lead the party.
Well, I guess they wanted to influence the way things went. And I happened to have dissociated myself from that position.
Which candidates were they rooting for at the time?
No, it was the running mate issue. They were not, the day I was asked to leave, it was the running mate issue.
Okay.
And
John Mahama was being considered at the time.
John Mahama had prevailed. No, that was the day he was announced.
Okay.
That same day, 9th of April in 2008.
2008, yeah.
That's the day I left the job. It's as simple as that. That was the day I had to leave the job.
Why were you sad? Because you disagreed with how they wanted a particular candidate over another, and the fact that you stood up to them and mentioned that
I think it's more of being a stubborn person, working with them, and not doing their bidding all the time, and raising queries or questioning some of the decisions.
The Rawlingses, are they intolerable? Are they people who are very intolerant?
They have their own views.
Do they tolerate dissent?
Well, I believe to some extent it's they do sometimes, but not all the time. Not all the time, and I believe it's the fact that they've been in leadership of this country for so long. You feel so powerful, and that you don't kowtow to dissent readily. So that is the kind of thing that people sometimes suggest, that you get power drunk, you feel so powerful for so many years, and who are you to come and, I've been around all this time for so long, you want to come and as it were, disagree with a directive I give or my authority, trying to challenge my authority type of thing. That's how it looked like.
So that was the posturing of former President Rawlings?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think it has changed very much. That posturing, it's by the fact that he became who he became.
There have been a lot of things people have said as far as this very issue is concerned, and of course the former president himself has come out to say that he tried diverting some funds, so he had to whip you into line and you felt offended by it. He says, okay, then you know what, then you have to go. Did you try diverting funds?
He said that, and I remember that last year on the platform.
Did you try diverting party funds?
I'm going to come to that in a minute, but soon after he had done that last year, and I believe it's going to happen again, the moment I talk, people come from behind somewhere and make calls to you and say, why are you going after this man? And forget about these things, and people go on. That's not going to make this country progress. It's about time that people spoke, and you speak with sense. I mean, we're asking to question wrongdoing. And this is the beauty of democracy.
Do you think the former president is doing wrong by calling you out?
Well, no, what he said, I didn't respond that time because I was prevailed upon by, big guys in society, not just in my party.
Okay.
Not to ignore him. I mean, if you remember what he did, that was in Wa.
Yeah.
He said all manner of things. At the tail end of what he did, he said, in the end, the money didn't come. So what was diverted?
Says it's because of what you did. That's how come the money never came.
So what was the diversion?
Because the money was supposed to come through him to then candidate Mills, but you kept insisting that people needed to send it to you.
He didn't understand the issues.
What were the issues?
I was trying to arrange for somebody in Nigeria, a certain lady, to put me before some deep-pocketed Nigerians to see whether they could help in our campaign.
Okay.
And those people always try, I mean, a particular lady in question, I've forgotten her name, it's a Nigerian, always wanted to use the former president to make money by taking him before certain people. I mean, Rawlings is admired.
Is that something they had done before?
Well, we were in Las Vegas together. I think that the story, if you remember, if you Google it or on the YouTube, you'll find it. We went to Las Vegas together. This woman invited us to Las Vegas to do a program. That's how I got to know the woman, and I introduced her to him and his wife.
To former President Rawlings?
Exactly.
And then Rawlings.
Yeah. So when we came back home, on my own initiative, I called the lady and I said, where are you? She said, I'm back in Nigeria doing something. I said, can you help us raise some money for the campaign? And she said, well, it can be done. And so this woman said to me, I said, well, I was going to come to Nigeria, so we will go and see the people who matter, and then at the right time, I will bring, the flag bearer of the party. Then
Professor Mills.
Yes, and the lady said, oh, I should bring Rawlings. I said, Rawlings is not the one running, because you got it all mixed up. Then I said, well, if you want, we could bring both of them, if you so wish. Now the lady says, no, don't come. And she said, you need to send me some money to do the groundwork.
Okay.
And she said, if you could send me $10,000. And I said, this is 419. I told the lady. And she got offended, not knowing that she took Mrs. Rawlings' number while we were in Las Vegas. So she calls Mrs. Rawlings, and they asked her to come. So on my blind side, she had come into Ghana to see them. And she came and painted a very bad picture of me, insisting that the flag bearer was the one to be taken to see whoever was going to assist us as a party.
And she painted it black because you called her 419?
Well, yeah, I told her that, I didn't send no money.
What was the later Mills aware of all this?
The Mills came to know about it, I don't know, much later. He told me that it was an illegality getting funds from, coming from outside to help a political party.
Exactly.
I think there was a law against it.
Exactly.
So he being a lawyer, he told me I didn't pursue the matter again, only to hear, the next few days I went to the office and I was informed by one of the security personnel, what did I go and do? A certain woman came here and has painted you so black to the former president. So they took a decision that they had to get rid of me.
There and then?
Well, they were planning it.
Okay. You got hints?
Well, I got hints, but they were planning it. So this is the story. Sometimes the former president says things publicly which are not exactly true.
The former president has been lying?
I didn't say it's a lie.
But
they're not exactly true. It's that you have not understood the issue and then you present it as gospel.
Jerry John Rawlings lacks understanding of the issues?
Well, I can tell you that, because there have been some instances where when Atta Mills was in office, he kept telling them about the killing of the Yana, and at that time he was not on good terms with me. But he kept telling them that I had a tape recording of the killing of the Yana.
Did you have any such recording?
I had a recording, but it was not the killing of the Yana. It was a tape recording of an individual who witnessed the killing of the Yana. It was his nephew who lived with him in the same palace.
He speaks of people with integrity. He's a man who has touted his integrity particularly very often. We are not using him. Could that be one of the reasons why?
We're not using him for what?
Well, he could have helped with the...
He served as a president for so many years.
He's still very influential in the party. He can do a lot of things, win you some votes.
He's the chairman of the council of elders of our party.
Is that enough? Maybe he can do some more.
You want to be president?
Well...
But there's a president who's been given the mandate by the people of this country. So when there's a president, he doesn't have any constitutional mandate
John Mahama was
to operate as such.
John Mahama was president. John Mahama was probably not consulting him to get advice on quite a number of things to do. Of course, President Mahama...
He used to go and have coffee with John Mahama in his house.
Oh, he used to?
I know that as a fact.
So he's been lying to us?
And when he arrives at John Mahama's office, residence in the morning, he's given preferential treatment because of who, So we don't understand why he's doing this to us. That's what NDC people should be asking him. Why? Well, I can tell you why.
Why?
He usually raises issues to do with Professor Mills failing to prosecute the government that came before him, the Kufuor's administration, for so many things that they did wrong in his estimation.
Okay.
And that Atta Mills probably did not convince him why he was not persecuting the people or prosecuting them. So he got angry with Professor Mills to the extent that his wife decided to contest Atta Mills as sitting president at the primaries. That's fine. Nothing stops anybody from contesting a sitting president when the primaries come along. But we had to go through the process in Sunyani. It was the result, the outcome of Sunyani, that he saw that he had been humiliated. Because obviously the wife is walking in his shadows. He is our founder. So he probably thought the people, the NDC people, cannot look at him in the face and vote against his wife or give him the kind of result that came out of Sunyani.
So you're saying he probably realized he was not as relevant as he felt he was?
Well, I guess he saw that probably the people slapped him in the face with a 3% vote.
Would the NDC be a better party or stand a greater chance of winning the 2020 elections if Jerry John Rawlings is cut off from the party?
Listen, I don't think anybody is indispensable in our party. I don't think anybody is indispensable. People have died and gone since this party started. If you remember PV Obing, he's died and gone. Everybody contributes his bit, but we don't make tin gods in our party. We will not say somebody is so indispensable if he says jump and then we ask him how high. Anytime you get the opportunity, you will have to knock President Kufuor, knock Atta Mills, knock John Mahama. The only person he's not hitting in this current administration is the current president.
Is it probably because he's doing a good job?
It's probably because he's in bed with him. And he shows it. And it's painful for some of us, because if anybody else had done that under J.J. Rawlings' reign, at the time he was president,
what would have happened?
Oh my God, you wouldn't even be in the party. You would run out of the country if you could.
Oh, the blood
you don't misbehave.
The blood would have flown?
No. You don't misbehave. I mean, discipline. So we need to have discipline within our party. But there's nobody above the law. And he seems to want to put himself above the law.
One of the key things the former President Rawlings kept saying, that even when the NDC was in power, was the fact that there's a lot of corruption in the system. If it's not handled, the NDC was going to lose the elections. He kept saying it, and the NDC did lose the elections. Now, since the NPP took office, a lot has been said about corruption in several state agencies, among several public appointees of government at the time. Don't you think the former president is vindicated? Rawlings has been vindicated, particularly with certain trials that we are told are already in the pipeline?
Well, trying people isn't a conviction. So the perception of corruption exists even now. I think Ghana's problems have to do with leadership, a committed leadership, who would ensure that the laws of this land work to enforce the law, like Lee Kuan Yew did in Singapore. You enforce the law, then you come up with policies which work to change the standard of living of the people of your country. If life gets better for us in this country, everybody, and I mean people can afford to put food on the table for themselves and their families and provide the basic things of life for them, we will have less problems as a people than we are having at the moment.
Can you do that for us?
What do you mean?
Should you be president of Ghana? Can
No.
you fix that problem?
I wish people would think like me, all leaders.
People are not thinking like that.
But the commitment has to be there.
So you are the one thinking like that. Can you?
If I'm put in the seat of a president, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you
You have
about.
ambitions
I
to
have
become
read
president?
about, no, I haven't said any such thing.
I'm asking.
No, I don't have that ambition.
You don't want to be president?
I don't know.
Do you want to be president?
Listen, let me be very frank with you. If I got the opportunity to change the fortunes of this country, I will.
Do you want to be president?
Why, are you going to make me a president?
I'm asking.
No, do you want to make me a president?
The people who watch the show can make you president.
If it's going to happen, it will happen naturally. I don't go looking to become president. But I think whoever is in the driving seat or going to be in the driving seat must think along the lines of what I'm saying. They must have the commitment. They should be selfless. People should stop thinking about themselves. Vulnerable groups like the old people, who have not worked to get pension. There's going to be a safety net so that people don't live a whole day without food. And it is happening in our rural areas of this country. And I have gone around campaigning before. I have gone to some old people, they're lying in the room, they have no way to go to hospital, they are hungry, they are old, and they are dying in this country. Yes, so we have leaders up there.
When was this?
During the last campaign, 2016.
John Mahama was president, you know?
No, I know. I am saying that the long shot, the leadership of this country. So that's what I'm talking about. What leaders need to do is to have that vision and that commitment.
So what you're saying...
to try and work towards an achievable policy.
What you're saying suggests John Mahama was not as visionary as many people thought he was.
Why? That's anybody's 100%. I never said that. Everybody comes, they say all those things, but in the process, they hit snags and they begin to waver.
Some lose focus.
And they lose focus and they are all over the place.
Do you think John Mahama lost focus at a point in time?
I think the leadership, and when I say leadership, it's not only him. He was the leader when he was president. When you lead presidency, leadership reverts to chairman.
Yeah.
Now the chairman and the leadership of our party in the party office, together with him, were managing the affairs of our party and was aimed at winning election. We didn't win.
Did they lose focus?
Well, the report has been done by Kwesi Boche as to what went wrong.
Who do you think will be the best candidate?
They mentioned Babin.
Of course. course, Bagwin has declared his intention.
Spielgabra.
Spielgabra has also.
And a few others. I think there's some other guys. Yeah.
So I'm throwing it to you. Who do you think would be the best person to lead the party?
I'm on the ground.
Okay.
I can talk about the people's
choice.
What the people are looking at. About 90% of NDC people want John Mahama back. They think he did well for this country, but some things went wrong. And we will need to clean up our act. That's what I figured. 9 out of 10 people I've spoken to. So clear.
People have criticized the then Vice President, John Mahama's running mate, Kwesi Misata, as one of the people who didn't really do much to help the cause of the president. Do you agree with that?
I don't know about that.
Do you think he'd be a good running mate for the president?
No comment.
You think he'd be a good running mate for John Mahama in 2020?
No comment. I'm not making a comment on whether he's going to agree to any such arrangement or what he did or what he did not do.
Okay, so let me ask this question rather. If you were to advise John Mahama, would you, and if he were to contest, would you advise him to go for the same running mate he had in 2016?
If I were to advise him, I probably would not go there.
I'm going to ask you yourself. You were running for a parliamentary seat sometime, I think in 2016 or so.
I've done it before 2012 and 2016.
Okay,
yeah.
You see, so in 2012 or so, well, you were unsuccessful at the time, but
both.
What happens in 2020? Are you running again?
No.
You don't want to be MP?
No. You can only try it twice. I think you should let it go.
I just want your take on the security situation in the country currently as it stands now. Maybe we can start off with this alleged military base that is going to be set up in Ghana by the United States of America. I'm
concerned. I think the people of this country must make that decision. We have to have that. We should be given the opportunity to make that decision. I don't care if it is a referendum. I don't care. The gentleman came here, the ambassador sat here and said the current president is more visionary. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Those were his words, that he's a more visionary president than some recent presidents the country has seen.
That's an insult to this country.
That's a description.
You wait. You need to be careful. I was out there as High Commissioner. I didn't go and talk about their queen. I didn't say negative things about their government. I was circumspect. Now, if you suggest to this president because he's allowed or is considering this gay, lesbian freedom, rights or some rights and something like that, and considering to bring a U.S. base here, so today you sit in this thing and say he's more visionary after 1 year. After 1 year. I have a problem with that.
Ambassador Smith, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Ambassador Victor Smith has been our guest on 21 Minutes with KKB. Some very insightful things you have heard from him today. Well, he's looking for a visionary person to lead the country and one who will make this country more attractive to the several Ghanaians who are in desperate need of some, should I say, some people who
progress.
Feel
they are looking for progress.
They're looking for progress. They feel their lives would be better off if they were elsewhere. But of course, he's also thrown some more light on that very issue between himself and his former boss, Jerry John Rawlings. I'm sure that his responses to all the questions we asked has brought closure to the issue this time, once and for all. I believe so. My name is Akufo-Addo. I'll see you soon, hopefully, with another guest you are expecting.